Thanks for watching. Today I want to talk about 7 budget honeymoon destinations, aka 7 staycation honeymoon ideas, because it is 2020 after all, and a lot of our destination international honeymoon plans have been canceled. My partner Phil and I were really lucky to have just gotten back from a 7-day trip in the Rocky Mountains, the Canadian Rocky Mountains, which is a cool 9-hour road trip from us, so not exactly a staycation, not exactly our own backyard, but we still like to think of it like that. Phil and I actually called our trip our 6-year anniversary trip because our anniversary is September 16th, so tomorrow at the time of filming this video, and it's our 6-year anniversary, so we're like, meh, we'll have a pre-honeymoon slash anniversary trip to the Rocky Mountains. And so off we went in our car camping, rented car camping adventure, and it was awesome. Highly recommend this to everybody. And don't worry if you don't happen to live in British Columbia or close to any national parks or whatever, it doesn't matter. I googled around looking for staycation ideas, and I found this article from a website called Traveler's Joy, and they had these 7 ideas for staycation honeymoon. So I'm just gonna kind of run through them and give you my thoughts, and maybe 1 or 2 of them will be interesting to you. Okay, so in this article, the first staycation honeymoon idea is take a rural country getaway. And they recommend things like forest bathing, which I'm not sure what that is. Oh, I guess just walking around in a forest. Staying in an Airbnb or some kind of eco cabin, blah, blah, blah. And this is exactly what we did when we went to the Rockies. We didn't actually stay in an Airbnb, but we did have 1 night in a hotel, which was really nice. The rest of the time we were car camping, so we had like that 1 break in the middle of the 7 days where we stayed in a hotel and got like a little break from being dirty all the time, I guess. But you know yourselves better than anyone else, so if you want to go camping, great, backpacking, or if you prefer to stay in a hotel or an Airbnb, just do it and do what you can afford. So if it's just 1 night, great, do that. If you can go somewhere for 7 days, do that. Everyone's schedules and financial situations are going to be really different, but find something that works for you. And for us, we even stayed at free campsites. We rented a car, but we parked in free campsites because Phil, I think, looked at, it's called freecamping.net, I think, or freecampsites.net, something like that. But there's these websites that kind of tell you where the free parking is in national and provincial parks, and that's really, really handy if you're going to be car camping or you have an RV or something and you're looking for a place to park for free. And also, before we took this trip, we stayed with Phil's sister on a little island called Main Island off the coast of Vancouver, which is where her boyfriend's family lives or has a summer house. So we went there for a couple of days, and that was really beautiful as well. We played like couples board games and went for a hike. The boys went swimming in this really freezing cold water. We went on a really nice boat ride. It's just like a really great escape from the city life, and just seeing something really beautiful and being surrounded by nature, and also spending time with family. So if you have any kind of options, I know obviously everyone's life situation is different, but just kind of getting out and doing something outside your comfort zone, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. The second idea on this list is not really my style for a staycation, but I know some people love this kind of stuff. It's home improvement projects. And actually, this is the kind of stuff that Phil's really into. He loves like picking stuff up on the side of the road and like making it nice and putting it in our house or in our apartment. And he really likes just like getting stuff for cheap on Craigslist and repurposing it and things like that. So if both of you are into that, or if one of you is really into it and willing to spend time teaching the other, that could be a really good opportunity to like work on a project together. But on the other hand, I could see how for some couples this would be an opportunity for stress and fighting. So it's not going to work for everyone. If you are going to do this, maybe decide that this is supposed to be fun and romantic from the beginning, and maybe drink a little bit of wine as you're working on this project together. And also I would suggest like having someone to show it off to after, because that might make it a little bit more, like incentivize you a little bit more to work hard on it together. The third staycation idea, honeymoon idea on this list is cook and drink together, which like we already do every night. I think maybe not drink every night, but we pretty much cook, maybe not cook together. One of us will cook for the other. Off and on, like every night or so, every other night. So in order to differentiate this from every other night and make it a little bit more special, if you're like us and you cook and eat together anyway. You could do something like have a picnic on your living room floor, maybe light some candles if you don't normally do that. Don't watch TV or Netflix or YouTube or anything like that while you're eating. Maybe listen to music. You guys could dress up, even if you're eating home, like having a picnic or some kind of dinner at home. You could both decide to dress up for dinner to make it a little bit more special. You guys might decide to cook something a little bit fancier or just different from what you normally make. I'm thinking about the camping meals and camping breakfasts and dinners that we had the last week, and they were not fancy at all. It was like things like pasta, pesto pasta, and like tuna sandwiches and stuff. But because it's things that are out of the ordinary, it felt really special, even though it was just camping food. Maybe you've heard the expression, different is better than better. That's kind of what I mean here. And if you do decide to make something really different that you've never made before, make sure you have something like frozen pizza or some kind of takeout idea as a backup plan, just in case things do not go as well as you planned. Or if nobody feels like cooking, you could always just order a fancy takeout meal as plan A. And because this is your staycation honeymoon, make sure that neither of you does any dishes. Just leave them in the sink until the next morning. Number 4 is kind of what we did, which is explore your own backyard. I already talked about this a little bit. So no matter where you live, there are things that you probably haven't seen in your own town or your own city or in your own state or province or country or whatever it is. There are probably things nearby that when people come to visit you, that's the only time you go and see these monuments or museums or whatever. So you could take this opportunity now to make an itinerary like you're a tourist visiting your own city or town or whatever, and go see those things for the first time and see them through the eyes of a tourist. Like bring your camera, wear a fanny pack, and go be a tourist in your own town. It'll be great. Things like art walks, museums, restaurants, parks, boardwalks, beaches, wine tasting, etc., etc., etc. Just go to like Lonely Planet for your state or city or country and see what's out there if you have no idea. Honestly, a thing that Phil and I like to do in Vancouver is just to like go to thrift stores or go to the dollar store and just like hang out and like see all the cheap stuff we could buy. We really just love going to thrift stores. So don't feel like it has to be anything expensive or super interesting or exciting. It can just be something as simple as going to the thrift store together and just maybe putting your phones away and spending some time together. Number 5 on this list is the one that we have not tried or never tried. Foster a pet. I really think this is beautiful, and I've heard stories that during quarantine this year, a lot of the shelters have been empty because people have all been fostering and adopting pets, which is beautiful. But me and Phil cannot keep our plants alive, so I don't think this is really one that's up our alley as far as staycation honeymoon ideas. But I really appreciate this one and I like it a lot, and I appreciate the fact that a lot of couples prefer these kind of project-based ideas. Like some people go on vacation and they love to like sit on a beach and they're so happy doing that. And then there are some people who need their minds engaged, like they always need to be working on a project or something. And so like a beach honeymoon has no appeal for them. And so I think something like having a pet to take care of or having a home improvement project to work on together is more like more fun and exciting for some couples. And then I don't know if this is really fun, but you could like babysit a child, like babysit your nieces or nephews or your friends' kids, just to kind of give them a break. You could take their kids for a night and practice. Maybe this is a terrible idea, I don't know. But good baby practice potentially, but maybe a horrible honeymoon idea, I don't know. Number 6 is really cool. It's learn a language. So just because your trip to Italy was canceled or you can't go to Japan this year, fear not. Your options are either to have your partner teach you a language, or if you speak another language, teach your partner that language. Or you can both learn a new language together. And if you're both serious about it and committed to it, you guys could really learn a lot in just like a month or even in a couple of weeks together. As you know, on YouTube, you can learn any language there is to know. You guys can make flashcards together and quiz each other and even put like little vocabulary post-its of the words in that language all over your home. And you'll forever have a secret language that the two of you can speak together. So it's kind of adorable. Okay, and the 7th idea on this list is keep your vacation days. What does that mean? With travel plans on ice, it might be tempting to cancel your pre-planned honeymoon vacation days during your staycation. Resist the urge to work and instead prioritize this time for you and your partner. Don't listen to anyone who says you have to cancel your honeymoon or not have a honeymoon just because you can't have the original honeymoon that you planned on. Like, we were supposed to go to Indonesia this year, and Indonesia is not letting tourists in until at least the end of 2020, so we had to cancel those plans. But still, we went to Main Island, we went to the Rocky Mountains, and even if we hadn't been able to, even if we couldn't have done any of those other things, we would have found other fun things right in Vancouver that we could have done together. So that's what I want for all of you as well. Don't work away your lives. Take some kind of vacation together and enjoy it. I mean, maybe that's the wrong thing to say because a lot of people are suffering. Let's do the best we can with the cards we've been dealt this year. And anyway, let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments below or any comments in the comments below. I'd love to read them. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.